LSU have won the last 2 trips to the Swamp now. 2020, now 2022. Brian Kelly's first trip to the Swamp. Got my Michael Scott shirt on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Your comments, your comments, your comments. Will Nation, we suck. 80 Perkins, what's up, Adrian? Hey, Diesel, my bro. He says, JD was a virtuoso. Hell yes, he was. Soundtrack by Rivers, yes. I remembered that Chelsea was like, hey, I'm coming home at around 9, so you should probably take your post-game show upstairs. And I just got so lost in the fancy of the game and the madness. My dad was over for the first little bit of the game. He was just beat and tired from a crazy day doing stuff with his dune buggy. So he left after, I think at halftime. But needless to say, I forgot to come up here for the start of this. But yeah, 4 straight overall for LSU in the series. People don't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Ever since the 2018 game. Yeah. Ever since the 2018 game where Joe Burrow throws the pick 6, we haven't lost to Florida. So it's kind of crazy that we even lost someone like Trevor Etienne in the recruiting process to him. Michael B says, how about Josh Williams and Harold Perkins? I know, my man. Josh Williams, 106 yards. And then Harold Perkins had that strip sack that was taken off the board, sadly. Mekhi Wingo would have had his second fumble recovery of the year. Sad that was taken off the board. But Harold Perkins, 5 tackles, 5 all solo, 1 pass breakup, 1 quarterback hit. I felt like Jay Ward had like 8 pressures on Anthony Richardson tonight. Did it not? It felt like they were, I was talking to Jay Ward like I do usually before the games, like the night before the game. And I was saying something like, you're going to have a few sacks tomorrow. And it was something that I also said to another player of his same ilk who plays in high school right now. I had the same feeling about that player pulling off 2 sacks as well. That player is Ryan Yates. And I said the same thing to Jay. I was like, this is a game where they should just blitz you like crazy at Anthony Richardson. And sure enough, they did. And he was like a hellhound with his ears pinned back. And he went to go murder Anthony Richardson tonight. He almost really injured the dude. Nasty shot underneath the knees. I'm not sure if Jay meant it or not, but Greg McElroy and the ESPN crew were calling it a dirty play. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't call Jay Ward a dirty player. I'd call him a violent player for sure. I'd call him a no prisoners taken type of player for sure. He's an old school player as well. So to him, that's not really a dirty shot in the way that they view modern football. Yeah, I guess you could make that claim, but for me, I wouldn't go that far. Micah Baskerville for the 2nd straight game leading us in tackles. He had 15 against Tennessee. Tonight, 11 again. He was the one who had the only sack of the game. Big play as well, but Anthony Richardson versus Jaden Daniels, that was really what we projected in our preview, and that's what we got. Anthony Richardson puts up 109 on the ground, 1 touchdown, 185 through the air. I mean, and then you got Jaden Daniels with 349, 44, so 393 for Jaden Daniels total offense, 185, 294 for Anthony Richardson, 294 plus 393. You got 687 yards of offense between Anthony Richardson and Jaden Daniels. Wow. And we predicted a duel. Well, we did not expect that. We expected LSU to win 27-21. That was the prediction that we flipped. Our preseason pick was Florida to win a shootout, 41-34. And then this week, we felt Kelly had to win this game, and we felt he was going to pull out all the stops to make that happen in the preparation this week. That he was going to make sure his team were ready, come hell or high water. And they were, and they pulled it out. And he made sure this offense was in a rhythm. He made sure this offense were getting, he made sure Jaden Daniels delivered tonight. And Jaden Daniels didn't just deliver. He showed us all what we felt he was capable of. That's why there was so much criticism towards Jaden Daniels. It wasn't because so many thought he couldn't do it. It was because so many were wondering why he wasn't. That's how I view it. That's how I've always viewed it, is Jaden, throw the ball. We know you can throw it. We've seen these 3rd and down plays where he hangs in there and makes this sick throw. LSU have been dynamite on 3rd down this year. We've been in the top 30, and now we're definitely going to move up from number 38 in the country on 3rd downs, and we're going to move up tonight. After what did we go? We were really good on 3rd down tonight. We were 8 of 12 on 3rd down tonight. Florida were 7 of 12 against us on 3rd down, actually, but we had 26 first downs in the game, 7 more than Florida. That just shows the rhythm LSU's offense got in. We averaged 15.2 yards per completion, 7.5 yards per play. Then again, Florida had 6.7 yards per play. But how much of that was after we built the big lead? And how much was that part of Matt House's strategy? We'll let them get the yards, but what will that mean? And, one of the players we believed LSU had to really minimize this week was Ricky Pearsall, someone who'd been really dynamite for them. Had like 1 rush for 76 yards and then like something like 254, 3 touchdowns through the air. Very versatile player. We limited him to 2 catches for 49 yards. He did have a 29-yard catch, but only 4 targets went his way. He did have like a couple explosive plays, just 2. And outside of that, 0 touchdowns. He did not really have an effect on the game. Yes, Trevor Etienne had a touchdown on us to make it a 42-35, keep the game close. But other than that, 8 for 28 for him. Montrell Johnson, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was able to have an effect, 4.4 per carry. But really, this was the Anthony Richardson show for Florida's offense. 109 on the ground from 9 carries, 12.1 average, 185 through the air, 1 touchdown. He opened the game with that bomb over the top on Jarek Bernard-Converse. That, I believe, is JVC's 3rd touchdown allowed this season, which is crazy because JVC is usually so solid. And so he's given up a few big plays, but LSU's secondary give up that big play. And then after that, it seems Richardson is kind of struggling through the air. And if you look at it all in all, 185, 1 touchdown, 60% completion, 15 of 25. There was nothing explosive after that big play. Nothing explosive. They had, 20, that 29-yard catch that we just talked about, to Pearsall, but outside of Shorter's 51, they really did nothing. 12 was their longest catch after that. It was a very strong performance once again from LSU's cornerbacks coach Robert Steeples and safeties coach Kerry Cooks, working in concert, working together to shut down these passing games. I mean, they even minimized Hendon Hooker in a way. Jalen Hyatt, as we saw, is going to get his. So if you see what we did to Jalen Hyatt, keeping him at like 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, compared to Alabama tonight, 5 touchdowns, 207, I think it makes LSU's defense look pretty good.